It's pretty wild when you think about it. What if one of the most powerful philosophies in all of history, one that guided emperors and leaders, didn't come from some fancy academy, but from the absolute lowest rung on the social ladder? Well, that's exactly what happened. Let's get into it. Here's the central question, the puzzle at the heart of this whole thing. How on earth did a man who was born a slave, who was physically broken, create a mental toolkit so powerful that it would become the operating system for one of the most powerful emperors who ever lived? To figure that out, we have to start at the beginning. We've got to look at the incredible and incredibly difficult life of this emperor's most unlikely teacher. Meet Epictetus. He didn't start his life with books and scrolls. He started it in chains. He was born into slavery in the Roman Empire, and his very name literally means acquired or gained. As if that wasn't enough, his master beat him so badly that he was left with a permanent limp. It's from this place of complete powerlessness that his ideas about inner power would take root. So how do you go through all of that, not just to survive, but to come out the other side with a timeless guide to living a good life? Well, Epictetus managed it by taking all that pain and forging it into a simple but ridiculously effective three-step framework. At the very core of his philosophy is this powerful little sequence. First, you focus only on the things that are actually up to you. Second, you learn to accept everything else you can't control. And third, you find a lesson in every single struggle. Now, this might look simple on a screen, but putting it into practice, it's a total game changer. Okay, let's really dig into those first two steps for a second, because getting this distinction is the key to the whole system. It all boils down to separating what's in our power from what we just have to let go. This right here is what's known as the dichotomy of control. It's super simple. On one side, you've got your inner world, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. That's your kingdom. You are the absolute ruler there. And on the other side, literally everything else. What other people do, things that already happened, even the results of your best efforts. Epictetus says that trying to control that stuff is where all our stress comes from. This is all about saving your energy for the battles you can actually win. And that brings us to that crucial third step. So what do you do with all that stuff you can't control, especially when it hurts? Well, you learn from it. This quote just nails it. Pain teaches what pleasure cannot. Every roadblock, every failure isn't just something you have to grit your teeth and get through. Nope, it's a lesson. It's a chance to build real strength and wisdom. And get this wasn't just some theory for scholars to debate. This practical, tough-as-nails mindset, born from a slave's experience, went on to directly influence the most powerful man on the planet at that time. That's right, Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome. I mean, just think about that for a second. A man who couldn't even control his own body taught a man who controlled almost the entire known world. Marcus was dealing with plagues, constant wars, and betrayal from his inner circle. And to handle it all, he turned to the teachings of a former slave. His personal journal, which we now know as Meditations, is just filled with him reminding himself over and over to separate what he could control from what he couldn't. So what does this all boil down to? It all leads to one central, incredibly powerful lesson from Epictetus's life, and it's just as true today as it was 2,000 years ago. It's the idea of character over circumstance. This is the bottom line. It really doesn't matter if you're a slave or an emperor. What truly defines you, what forges your character, isn't the hand you're dealt in life. It's how you choose to respond to it. And so that leaves us with a challenge. A question Epictetus would want you to ask yourself every day. When you're faced with your own set of challenges, your own circumstances, what will your response be?